Actually, it isn't on at all. Right now, here's what the monitor looks like. Here's what's being filmed. Just sit here. Please, please. Please, please. Testing, testing. Right. 1, 2, 3. I think we're ready to go. Okay. Can you hold up? Can you pan it so that that last chair isn't, so this gentleman can sit in and not be on? You could even ask verbal questions if you want. So just sit, yeah. Ah, it's a Mr. Clean show here. We have, it's gonna rain, and we have a great guest today, Gemma. How are you doing? Oh, you were gonna play intro flute music. Let's do a read down. Let's do it over again. Play flute. Play flute. All right, Mr. Clean makes the sculpture. Salima wears a cool bathing suit. Mr. Clean makes the sculpture. The greatest, they say that the one most in tune with Mother Nature builds the coolest one. And here we have Mr. Clean having made the coolest one ever. Well, I don't know about that. I haven't seen them all, but as far as here today, there's a couple really nice tall ones up there. There's a nice little one there, but this is the Mr. Clean version. And Salima, come on, pull off your thing. I got her to wear. Oh, she's got my t-shirt on, but let me show them. It's supposed to be up. You don't want to be like okay, signing out for now. Ready? Here, take 2. It's recording, right? Okay, start with the wide shot. Then after I do my little intro, switch to Salima. Ready? No. Whoa! It's a Mr. Clean show here! Everything you want to see. Today we have flute music from Salima. We have other guests here. We have a great interview with this book, about this book here. Yes. Oh, I wanted to play longer than that. But anyway, let's go with it. Now, today, since I usually do just like comical relief and all that, I want my friend Salima to interview Gemma about her book.
Well, we might start with the poem Angel or Shaman's. The Shaman's work. The Shaman's. There was Angel. Walter wrote a poem for Gemma, which is called Angel. So he can write that. My Angel.
So you want Walter to read it?
Yeah.
There it is, right there.
Okay.
My angel. I woke up this morning and what did I see? A beautiful angel right next to me. But she went all night without having to pee, but she left the John all ready for me. Now what happens this day is hard to say. So we'll get by just another great day. We'll take a short walk through the park and hope we get back before it gets dark. She lived 50 years as a single mom, very independent, not losing her charm. She had so many dark days in her life, but now she has days that are less burdened with strife. She had diabetes. That was the cure, they say for sure, but using less sugar, that was the cure.
All right, we're here with the Mr. Clean show. This young lady's doing a thing about international students.
Yeah, foreign exchange students for high school.
For high school. She's American citizen, but she was born and brought up in London. And this lady is from France.
Wonderful.
So we're here as international representatives of the world to check out your display. Now, what is this?
Okay, so My name is Laura McCallum,
Mm-hmm.
and I work for Academic Year in America, which is an organization that gets students from all around the world and places them all around the United States, some for a half year, some for a full academic year in our local high schools. And I'm looking to place some students in some homes in the area.
All right.
Yeah, so I've just got some...
And the contact info over here?
Yeah, some contact info and some brochures, and right here is a full list of the countries that we get students from. It's rather extensive.
It's not quite focusing, but
Yeah.
it looks like a wide variety.
Yes, absolutely. Many, many different countries.
Is there a number to call?
There is. Right here is my email as well as my phone number
Wait, the wrong.
that people can reach me at for more information. And also our website.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I guess interviewers didn't do very well. They just kind of.
They got...
So the United States does the best interview. The Limeys and the French are out. Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, I won the interview competition.
Ooh, doing good.
America won. You're supposed to help me with.
Then Gemma was going to read something.
Excuse me. Shyman.
Here, this one. The Shaman Song.
Shaman song?
Like,
Okay.
not to hold.
I have to hold
Oh, yeah.
the shamans. This one's titled The Shaman Song. It's a poem. Pray for your enemies. Love them. They transform before your eyes, becoming teachers, playing the needed roles, showing us we are interchangeable chessmen on a cosmic board, sometimes wonderful, sometimes not, always equal. And then what else? Am I going to read some more?
Okay.
Okay, here's an essay. It's titled Stormy Weather. When my dearly beloved asked to borrow a suitcase so he could leave me, seemingly out of the blue, and Kelly wasn't even 1 year old yet, why didn't I shimmy and shake like my sister Kate? Instead of feeling abandoned and confused, helpless, like being thrown into the lake with my arms tied behind my back, I could have packed up the four kids 10 dozen cloth diapers, baseball bats, and Barbie dolls, given the 3 cats away, flown to Nevada, and made over $100,000 a year in one of those, quote, houses. In a couple years, I could have returned, bought a home up on East Hill, and lived happily ever after. What still fascinates me is that the pen picked me up the day Tom left, and together we started recording my existence, with absolutely no understanding of the healing properties of sound. I sang, or maybe hummed, for 3 days before collapsing on the couch, wondering how all this could be happening to me. The understanding that it was I who left him would come later. All I could think about was how to feed and shelter my children and send them to college. It was Labor Day, 1964. 9-year-old Fred and 7-year-old Shannon were outside with their neighborhood friends, enjoying the last days of summer vacation. 2 and 1/2-year-old Jay and infant Kelly ate, played, or napped as usual. The Civil War that had raged on and on and on inside of me for 11 years was almost over. Reconstruction had begun. It too would be long and painful, tearing my family apart in agonizing ways I could never have imagined. But as weeks went by, I began noticing how nice it was without the children's father. No complaints about how I expected him to come home after work and have dinner with us. Then I began noticing how wonderful it was without him. No complaints about how noisy the children are. Then I noticed how great it was without my husband. No complaints about me being a nag because I suggested he hold his youngest child or talk to him. 2 other more significant changes were that Shannon's morning stomach aches ceased, and the twice-monthly trips to the pediatrician and drugstore ended. For the past 6 months, Jay and Kelly had been passing respiratory infections back and forth. So, is that it? Is that it? Is that all I'm reading? Okay.
Art at Press Bay Alley Cafe for the Mr. Clean Show.
I got some.
Where were you born? I was going to ask you a question.
Sorry, what? Oh,
Where were you born?
where was I born? Oh, I was born here in Ithaca, New York, in my dad's bar. My father bought a building and had a hotel and a bar and a restaurant, and we lived upstairs on the second floor. And I was born up there. The building's gone now. It was in downtown Ithaca, and the house that I now live in, he bought in 1938 when I was 3, and I'm back home living there now. It's a beautiful Italianate historic home. So.
You got a question?
Yes, thank you so much for coming in. I remember we had the open house. You had the open house at your thing. We're walking down and saw you like 5 years ago, and we. Yes, it was wonderful. So I was wanting to do a remote shoot, but my cameraman wouldn't do it. But we got him out of sick bed. He had West Nile virus, and also had a biking accident just before that. So he was like, this is his come out from. And I think you helped with Stanley's show at one point. But anyway, 5 years ago, I met you there, and then we used to do Richie Sings together, and you told me about your book, and so I'm really glad that you came on. So I can't really think that's kind of the reason I wanted Salima to do most of the interview, because I can do, jump around and do music or whatever, but I'm not really a good interviewer. So do you have a question? No. You have a question?
Pas pour le moment.
So why don't just do another reading? How about that? Would that be okay?
Empty Nest Syndrome, for me, is the title. When did I begin to feel old? At 8 or 9, when I first menstruated and felt scared, ashamed, had no one to turn to or ask. When did I reach my prime? I haven't reached it yet. My memory is back. My freedom from children loosens the step, lets the foot press down on the gas pedal longer, more often. I am young again, free and responsible, loving and loved, comfortable in my home, my daughter's or son's apartment, or my lover's home. Wow. Has time run out for me now that I'm 43? Gee, I don't think so. I have a whole new career to commence, dreams to turn to, realities, miles to walk. Now that the children are gone, what will I do with all the time? Revel in the joy. Sit with my feet up and watch the leaves turn, write, read, organize, listen to the genius in me, as Goethe says. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. I feel magical, powerful, not a genius, but close, maybe. Is that it? That's
All right, Stevie's picture in the paper.
Uh-oh. This is going out to Florida. Yeah. It's about
What was it about?
buskers and street performers. I don't know what a busker is.
Excellent. All right, this lady does sewing for everybody here at Loaves and Fishes. When is it?
Every Monday.
Every Monday. And you can come in and get you got a button needs sewn on, or maybe you'll help also teach people to sew. She got a bag full of stuff, the light ready to go. Yes!
What are you going to do with all this?
What am I going to use it for? For the show!
What show?
The Mr. Clean Show. Oh, you don't know I do a
No,
show?
oh no. When it's on TV?
Yeah.
Oh, when it's on TV, where can I see it? What
It
channel?
will be on Channel 13.
When?
This one will probably air in like 3 or 4 weeks. I lost track
Let
of
me
it.
know, because I have to go see a friend, go to a friend's house to watch.
Excellent. And plus, it'll be on the internet.
Okay. I got a computer. So what do I do?
YouTube, Christopher Church channel, but I'll have to let you know exactly because there's hundreds of hours of stuff on there, so I'll let you know exactly what.
Okay, great.
And plus, she inspired me to do this grant project where she said, well, I was talking about getting a sewing machine, and I talked to the Sew Green lady, and then she kept saying, no, the class is just for you, the class is for this, the class is for that, and then I like freaked out on her and said, emailed and said, no, you're discriminating against me because I'm a white male, actually. And she said, no, we don't discriminate against anybody, and plus, but you have some disability, you got a spinal injury, right? I said, yeah, why don't you go to Finger Lakes Independence Center and see if they didn't really have a thing to sponsor classes. But this inspired us to do a whole thing where the So Green lady, myself, and Jeffrey Bowles of the Finger Lakes Independence Center got together, and now the So Green lady is going to write a grant, and we're going to offer classes for not only handicapped people, but everybody so it'll serve as a thing to integrate people into with people that are handicapped. Yeah, plus, we learn how to sew. So I'm going to go to the first round of classes, and then I'll be able to teach it. Because of her! Inspired it.
Because of her.
Yes! And then I would follow through. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Switch again. So now we're back with more. Ready? So why don't play another flute solo?
Okay.
As a break, and then we'll talk more about the book. Yes! Everything you want to see for the Mr. Clean Show. Now will you do some more reading or just talk about... So initially then, I met you back when you had your open house, and then we saw each other at Richie Sings, and then you told me about, you wrote this book.
Okay, so what do you want me?
Anything to say? Like, what about your experience of writing the book? Was it very positive? Was it very?
Well, it was shocking. I think I've told you there are fewer Italian American women writers of my generation, and for me to have achieved that, I don't think I would have had Dad ended up in a different city than Ithaca. My father actually was mistaken when the bus came here to Ithaca rather than he was meant to be dropped off somewhere else. My parents were Italian immigrants. And I'm so grateful that he was here. There's so much, because with the universities, there's the writers that I met, and I was taught to write poetry, and then and then Eleanor Roosevelt, when I was 13 or 12 or 13, I read that she kept a diary, and so I said, oh, I can do that. So I've done that, and that's where many of the entries to the book are from, diary entries. And then my friend who wrote poetry, and I joined their class, and to be a poet is amazing, just amazing. Published poets is so. No, I'm eternally grateful, and the nice friends I have, and I didn't always. Do you know the Italian? There was one Italian woman who went to her counselor to get help to apply to college, and she was told, "Why do you want to go to college? You're not intelligent enough." And I know when I asked my counselor for help to apply, he didn't help me. So I did it, but I did it myself. So I'm wondering, maybe I wasn't helped because of being a female and Italian. I don't know. But anyways, I got to TC3 and got a degree. And then TC3 a number of years ago asked me to give the commencement address. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So yes. So I'm very grateful to live in Ithaca.
Gemma,
Yes. What?
Go to Wide Shot.
Leah,
Do what?
Go to Wide Shot.
Leah.
Oh, while I was writing, while I was writing my book, when the children were gone and I was living in the house, my family home alone, I never felt alone because I would listen to music. And there was a female DJ whose name was Leah. And she's still on 40, 50 years later. She's still a DJ on the station. And so I feel she helped me write my book. In fact, I've been trying to get her address or something so I could send her one of the books and thank her. So yeah, I had help. And listening to music. Music is very therapeutic and medicinal, and so I've always listened to music. And my dad had his paisani come on Sunday afternoons over at our place with their instruments, and they would play Italian songs. So along with the damage that I received, there was good things, and I also have just recently read again, the Italians don't give up. Of course, I have a question about that, but so I figured that's maybe why I didn't give up. Friends with brain damage and memory loss, a lot of them give up, and I never have. So, and then nutrition is very important, and I've gotten a book about good, healthy nutrition, and dancing. Walter and I met while at dancing, and we're busy.
Yes, I noticed. Actually, that's what it was. It was today. I was there and saw them hugging a tree, and I go, look, we got real tree huggers here. And that's what. Then I realized it was you.
Oh.
We just thought you were just some random people or some people that love trees walking you.
But another woman told me that she hugs her tree and talks to her tree. I just met a woman a couple of days ago who also talks and listens to her tree talking to her. So I'm not as odd as I think I am. Trees communicate with each other, and with us. And I'm being told just to wait and hang on, and good things are happening. And look at you in today. So, is that amazing? I mean, absolutely amazing. So,
Tree huggers. Wait. I missed it. You got to do it again. I just started filming by the time you stopped. I'll get it from the other side of the... Tree huggers. Oh, now it looks like they're staging it. I gotta reenact. They're just starting. Putting her. Let's see if she does it. Tree huggers. All right, the car's even stopped. Tree huggers, real tree huggers. For the Mr. CleanN show, yes. This book was, go to one shot. This book was really good. I didn't read it. I'm dyslexic, so I didn't read it. I wrote a little, when you first gave it to me, I read some of the poetry.
oh,
And
yes.
then looked at the pictures and noticed this beautiful home, the beautiful home.
My house.
That's where you
Yes.
showed the inside and they.
Yes, and I'm still there.
Excellent. And does it have a widow's peak?
Yeah, it does. It has a cupola. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it has a cupola. Yep.
Or cupola would be a more positive term. Why does it have to be? Why did they call those?
Oh, the widow's
Oh,
eye.
when they were out in the sea and they built this house on the shore and they looked out for the husband that was lost at sea, perhaps.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
think that's part of the origin, but I don't.
What?
No, that's
Hey,
not
Carl.
correct. He's like, no.
What?
That's where widows people got.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not even doing the microphone. So anyway, this is beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, the woman who edited it for me, yes, that's not the original, but
Oh, this is the new improved version?
yeah, that's the new edited, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's a picture of me. That's me.
Nice, nice. Sweet. It looks like you don't need a lab cam. You don't need a camera on a thing. This will work. Oh, it's kind of out of focus, but so is the whole shot. Not really, but Well, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on.
Can you imagine
I lost.
how shocking it is for me to achieve something like this? Can you understand how shocking it is for me to have achieved something like this, considering how I grew up and who I am and what I've experienced? I mean, I'm so grateful. It's such a joy for me to have something to give to share with others. Yes, and bring joy into my life. So I thank you very much.
Excellent. Will you want to do any more reading or? Yeah.
I couldn't wait to learn how to write. One of my early memories of the sun, warm and splashing through the bedroom window, turning the hardwood floors the color of golden, delicious apples, I'm sitting on that floor, making squiggly lines with a pencil on white paper. I'm trying to teach myself the alphabet. The lines all look alike. I can't tell A from B or C. Dad is always working or too tired to ask. Mom can't read or write English. It doesn't occur to me to ask my sister. After several attempts, confusion darkens the room. Nothing to do but wait till I'm old enough to go to school. Did I read more? Or is that enough?
Yes, please.
Jimmy Federico has magic in his hands. At 5 and 6 years old, I worry that he will leave one day, and then who will take the terrible pain away? It comes often, the pain, like with one of Mom's headaches, only in my stomach. We are all living on Green Street. Now in the early 40s, Mom has her mansion, her roses, her rosary. I have my doll, my friend Lucy Ann. Dad has his hotel, his bar, and his bartender, Jimmy. Jimmy has Louise, who I think is his wife, and whom I love, since she loves me. Jimmy can make the horrible pain go away. It's a warm summer evening. I am complaining again. Must be supper time, 'cause Dad is home. Mom is probably busy cooking. It is decided that Dad will take me by the hand up to the hotel, 2 blocks away. I like walking with my father. The pain doesn't seem so bad when just he and I are together. I even skip a little. I can be happy because Jimmy is going to make everything right again. As Dad and I walk up Green Street, we pass Miss Wilkinson's stone mansion and the 2 others just like it. One on the second block there are bars, a clothing store, a car dealer, none of interest to me. All that matters is that I am with my father, and soon my stomach ache will be gone. Then I will feel like playing with my rubber doll that has the gray fur coat and hat and muff. I just love her. I found her under the tree on Christmas Eve. In the hotel dining room, where we are not observed, Jimmy squats down and has me lie across his knees. He pulls up my dress and makes the sign of the cross across my stomach and rubs it. Soon the pain is gone. How does he do it? I wonder. Will he always be here when I need him? By the time I am 3rd grade, 8 years old, the stomach ache has gone. Depression is setting in for a long-term relationship, but I do not know that then. I am just happy my stomach no longer hurts. Okay, is that enough? Or
Sweet! Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Salima will take us out with some flute music.
Thank you.
Everything you want to see for the Mr. Clean Show. Yes! That's it. All right, Mr. Clean is back. I just got out of the hospital. I'm here at Press Bay Alley Cafe. Mr. Clean is back. Only this time, eyes be black. There's art here at the Press Bay Alley. They haven't quite got the coffee. They're a little bit late, but the art is good.
It'll be in there. 4 minutes. Like that.
$300. Nice pieces here. I think I'll take a little card. Everything you want to see.
Come fly with me.
That's a good one.
Come fly.
Clap.
You know,
Somewhere over the rainbow.
oh yeah. I did that, didn't I?
Oh, you did that already?
Yeah.
Oh.
About and a revolutionary song in Italian.
Solo mio.
Yeah, we could, or Partigiani.
All right, Mr. Clean is on the scene. It's fall, and some folks are making these cool structures over here. I'm not sure exactly. I've got the Mr. Clean mobile, my backpack, equipment ready, and I just happened to be riding by and saw these interesting structures. What are these? They look like little huts or something. Oh, cool, and it's got a little passageway in there. You can go. And my back entry is such that I can't really crawl in. Well, I could crawl in there, but I don't want to aggravate my back since I just got out of the hospital. Here's one in progress. Let's see if I can get an interview with the people that are making them. They're over here. Maybe they don't want to be on camera, but that's okay. Mr. Clean films anything he wants. All right, I just found out this young man built the huts. How did you do it? You just put sticks up there?
Yeah, we first put some sticks, then some leaves, and then me and my friends kind of just did it together.
Wow, you did all that yourself?
Yeah.
Sweet, that's great. You'll be on the Mr. Clean show. Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
All right, that's cool. This is what Ithaca's all about. Cool huts, beautiful, and the Mr. Clean show is the universe.
Something else?
Other one?
Some. Yes, I remember that one. Yes. What else?
Okay.
What other?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, this concludes. Unless anybody wanted to do any more, want to sing? Want to dance? Rolling. All right, Mr. Clean is on the scene. I've got the GoPro here, and I'm here with a cool monitor. This will be my first time utilizing the combined GoPro thing, and I'm here to cover my friend Daniel's mural on the reuse center for the Mr. Clean show. Here's one side that's complete, and he will be explaining about his process in a moment, and then the other side is almost complete. This building here will be the reuse center. Oops, that's just a white wall. They're still working on the inside, ready around the building to get the other, almost complete, other side of the world. He will talk about it a little in a moment. We will rejoin you for the Mr. Clean Show.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Well, I don't remember where I read that, but in order for us to have a happy life, there's four things that we need: singing, dancing, storytelling, and silence. Music is medicinal, so singing is and our voices. Just yes, voices are medicinal also. I knew a woman who made tapes of voices and of sound, different with a specific purpose, and she would collect words, collect sounds for each word, like for instance, healing a part of the brain or part of a body or whatever, and yes, that's very healing, and my father had musicians who come over on Sunday afternoons with their instruments, and they would get out their songs books and they would play the music, the one song, the American song that I just love so much. He played for me. The title isn't coming now, but they played that for me once, every time they came over. So singing. So that's singing, and then dancing. Walter and I met dancing. Yes, a friend of mine was square dancing, and so I said, "Oh, I can go and learn how." And so I'm so grateful that I did, and that's exercise, and it's movement, and it's not sitting around, and you're meeting lots of other nice people, and that's where Walter and I met. Yes, so we do that between 1 and 4 times a week during the school year.
All right.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
And storytelling, yes. Journal keeping is very medicinal and healthy. I believe it was Eleanor Roosevelt, I think, that I read when I was a teenager, or 17 or 18 or whatever, that she kept a diary. So I said, "Oh, I can do that," and so I started, and I'm still doing it. I wonder if I've written anything of value in there, and I need to go through and read some of my diaries, or have somebody else read them and see what I've written. Yeah, right now I'm recording my children, and but they're doing important things like that, or important people that the universe has had me get in contact with again. And I'm meeting with someone this next week to continue the healing of my memory loss. He feels that he's learned some things that science has discovered, and so I'm looking forward to that. So. Anyways, and singing, dancing, stories, and silence. Yes, silence is very important. Just calm down and meditate, or and relax is also very healing and very important. And so we work on all 4 of those, and whatever. Yes, I'm. And what else? What else? Anything else? Anybody wants to know? And living downtown, we didn't know. I'm in my family home, and Dad said, "Well, you don't need a car. What are your legs for?" So the grocery stores are within walking distance, and the groceries and the other stores, the fountain, and the music is downtown within walking distance, and so so Walter and I do a lot of that, and that's very healthy and medicinal and whatever, and yes, and music, listening to music is wonderful, and storytelling, yeah. I mean, storytelling. I've told you about the journals and my book, and then meditation. There's 2 women and their husbands started the Foundation of Light, and they taught us how to meditate. And and Kate Payne and Mabel Beggs, they made the sound tapes, and I'm so grateful to them. That's very healing, and they still have them. And even our own voice, if you tape your own voice, I've read that is also very healing. So and the book on brain longevity and medicinal supplements that I learned about at the Foundation of Light. I've been using supplements from that book all these years, so I'm functional. Yes. Oh, and I could mention dowsing. Do you know how the immigrants who came to Ithaca, how they found?
Oh, the thing where you do the.
With the pendulum. Oh, well, yeah, yes, with the divining rods. Yes.
Oh, is that kind of like that? Or
well, I use a pendulum. That's a stone on a chain, and then you determine what is yes. And for me, clockwise is yes, and no is counterclockwise most of the time. Sometimes it changes. And yes, I'd use that for my nutritional supplements. And if I have a question, and I think I know the answer, but I don't want to affect the pendulum, I put yes and no on equal size pieces of paper, face down, and ask the question, and then what the pendulum says is yes. I use that. So I'm still here, haven't given up. And
is there any way to lose weight with that technique? Like put the pendulum over my stomach and then just that goes?
No, artichokes, right, Walter? Artichokes?
Oh, really?
Artichokes, yes.
Oh, Salima tried to make me artichokes the other night.
Oh,
or
good.
she did one night and it was really good.
The whole,
I've never eaten it
the
like
whole
that.
artichoke?
Like you take the little,
okay.
you boil it and it's like take just the little piece of the tender piece
Just
of the leaf.
yes.
Then when you get the center, then it's like really.
Do you fill the? Do you cut up the stem and put it in the center with olive oil and garlic and some salt? Yeah. That's how Mom made it.
When you get to the heart,
yes.
You eat it with oil and vinegar.
Oh, you do with vinegar also.
Dip in oil and
vinegar. Okay. That's what I grew up with, and I've been trying to find artichokes, but every time I bought them, they were spoiled. So we've been getting the canned hearts, which that's what we eat, and I would like to go back and get some, but they're seasonal. The whole artichoke isn't it? You can get them in the fall, I think, or.
They had them yesterday.
Oh, really? At Green Star or Oasis or that's where I go for. Oh.
Get the raw eggs.
Talk it to the.
Oh, yes.
When you talk it to the.
Okay. Yes. Oh, artichokes are very good for bellies. Yes. Get rid
All
of.
right.
And then raw.
Boil me up some artichokes, Salima.
And you know how valuable.
I did yesterday.
Oh, wonderful! Yes. And then Mom had us eat a raw egg every morning before. Well, from the time I was 3.
Really?
Yes, and before school. And I
gotta suck down a raw egg.
Well, you put it. It doesn't taste bad. I put mine in a glass with juice, orange juice, or
put it in the blender
or a blender if you want to, whatever. But they don't taste bad. In fact,
don't they say salmonella or something? Do you have to worry about?
Salmonella? What?
I know when they did training, they did a lot of raw eggs.
Who's they?
Like Rocky and the. And then he cracks the eggs and sucks them down. Ready like
I'm not. No.
No.
My mom.
We had it with sugar, raw egg and sugar.
Oh, you did.
Yolk.
And yolk.
And by my Italian au pair.
Oh, really?
I was brought up by an
Milk
Italian lady.
Oh.
And it the yolks, a lot of stirring with sugar.
Oh,
that explains.
Well, we need to stay away from sugar. You know they put sugar into spaghetti sauce now.
Oh, I hate that.
Isn't that terrible? You know, I mean, and the cereal, the kids. I know the kids, the sugar in the morning, but cereal, there's too much.
Okay, Daniel's here. We're here. Here's some of the original design. Please explain, my brother.
Yeah.
This is Daniel.
This is a concept that I just threw at him. This is the reuse center, the new reuse center in downtown Ithaca. It's on Elmira Road, across from Pudgy's Pizza. This is the concept of the building. There's a light pencil sketch, but the thing that they really were struck with was the whole earth, or half of the whole earth, on the half of the building. And they like that. I split it. There's one on the other side, which you may see footage of, and there's the one I'm working on now. But it was just a quick pencil sketch and a last-minute idea. But as is the case with a lot of material, sometimes your least conscientious ideas are the best ones. So this is actually something they, like I say, really liked and are going to have. It symbolizes the ultimate reuse. If you're going to have a reuse center, this is the ultimate reuse, the planet itself.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
And so I get a little piece of the other completed. Is that complete on the other side?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's maybe some touch up after I finish this one, but I wanted to get it on because I'm not having, I'm not having a big window to do this. So very much I want to get it done on both sides.
All right, I'm getting a call, and so while you get set up, I'll go film the other side, and then I'll come back and have you talk some more.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My mom even came to elementary school one morning when my brother and I had gotten out of the house without a yolk, without the egg, and made the teachers get us out of the class, and we had to drink the yolk. Yes. So I don't recall being ill growing up. Okay.
Nice.
I might have had the measles or something like that, but colds, we didn't have colds, and serious illnesses. So yes, so good, but you got to have healthy raw eggs. Healthy, well treated chickens, or organic. Yes, and you have to have organic food, and yes, you eat well, and of course the Italian food that Mom cooked was wonderful. Yeah, healthy.
Organic chicken.
And homemade sauce and spaghetti every weekend, and pizza, and all the fish and seafood and vegetables sautéed in olive oil and garlic or tomatoes. Yes, there's a lovely recipe for cooked stuffed peppers in the book. My mom.
Did the green peppers give you indigestion?
No.
As long as they're cooked good, right?
They were cooked.
If they're raw, then.
I don't know. Well, one recipe she did was to burn the skin off the peppers. She would turn on the burner on the stove and blacken all the skins, and then scrape them off and cut them up and pieces in olive oil and salt.
Nice.
And I don't recall having any negative reaction to them. No, I don't do that anymore because I damaged my stove around the burner. Anyway, so I need to find a way to do that outside.
You bake them first?
No.
You
just put them on the burner with a flame on, and blacken the skin. Then you scrape it all off and cut it up with olive oil.
Yeah.
And you know how medicinal garlic is? The garlic is one of the best medicinal foods you can. My sister had
Yes, I love garlic.
My sister had a friend who lived 4 houses down on Green Street, and her father didn't want her to. On Geneva Street. Her father didn't want my sister's friend to come and visit us. The awful smell in the kitchen, the garlic, whatever.
Well,
huh?
I guess if you haven't eaten any garlic, that it has a little bit of a.
Yeah, people could smell it.
Sometimes she'll eat a lot.
Well, it's the smell. The smell stays on your hands and my fingers. Oftentimes, people could smell the garlic on my fingers after.
That's cool. It keeps the vampires away.
Oh, you're right.
It actually does. That's interesting because it actually does keep mosquitoes away. Oh. I found that if you eat a lot, some people they'll go right to you, and then others if you eat a lot of garlic. Supposedly.
That's wonderful. Yes, that's very.
They
good.
always bite me anyway. I don't know why.
So no, we were well dressed. My mother, and we were well fed. The negative things you have to forgive and forget and move on, understand, because it doesn't hurt them. It only harms the person who's angry at them. So you move on. And what else? Anything else?
Bang! Sound spike. All right. Mr. Clean over here, one more coverage of this beautiful piece I'm hoping the GoPro is catching this quite well. And this is excellent, I tell you, excellent. He's even got the clouds down. No chemtrails in there, but the clouds down, the bottom of North America, there's South America. Now back over to Daniel. He's probably in the midst of painting now because I was on the phone for a bit. So we'll catch him right in the midst of his in action for the Mr. Clean show. Now he's mixing up some paints and he can conclude about, oh, that's a little island off of Africa, right?
Madagascar. It's off the coast of the east coast of southern Africa. It's very unique and beautiful place. And I'm painting in a very deep channel between Africa and the island where coelacanths were found. The story is not just of land and the surface of the water, but what's underneath it as well.
I remember that from zoology, but
Yeah.
what were those? Those were little...
Coelacanth is a lobed fin fish that science thought that was extinct 60 million years ago. They found fossils of it in Cretaceous rock, and they found a live one off of the island of Madagascar in this channel. It came up in a fisherman's net in the late 30s, and you know, thank goodness the fisherman didn't toss it overboard or try and sell it in the market. He actually brought it in, I think, to a scientist, and they realized that it was a prehistoric fish that was living. So the ocean.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's wild. And plus
Yeah.
it sounds cool. Coelacanth.
Yeah, coelacanth. Yeah. A lobed fin fish from which actually human beings evolved as well. So it's, yeah. And so I can't paint the coelacanth on the surface, but I can paint sort of the environment in which the dark blue represents deeper water.
If you remember from the Christmas special,
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, he had this beautiful little cards that he designs with some
Oh yeah.
different
Polar stuff.
sea life and
The
whales.
Gaia
and-
series and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and we did the whole PNC
Yeah.
thing. All right, so concluding, I think this, unless you've got more to say, we'll have a concluding statement about, I'll come back and film this,
Yeah.
the other side complete, but
I say there's, you can talk forever about the planet and the secrets that it holds, but I think we said enough.
All right, thank you very much.
Sure, man. You got it. You got it.
Everything you want to see. Coelacanth, murals, the Earth Reuse Center, everything. All right, Mr. Clean is on the scene. I happen to be coming back from doing the Daniel mural thing, and see these workers are out here. I've always supported workers' rights. As you can see, they're there with a sign. So when this light changes, maybe I can get an interview with them. Or do I even need to change? Wait for the light to change. I can make it. I can make it across. All right, workers' rights. What's this all about? I do a television show, so I always support workers' rights.
Body cammed up with it.
Yeah, I've got the body cam and I've got the little this thing too. So you're here to protest they're doing some non-union stuff, or?
Benderson Corporation refuses to pay the scale wage in the area for the contractors and skilled workers, and as a result you end up with out-of-town workers, out-of-town contractors coming in and taking the local guys' jobs.
That's absurd! We're supposed to support our local economy. What are these people? This is the one that's responsible?
Benderson, yeah, they're the developers of the commercial property. They've been using this tactic in the area for several years. This protest has been going on for about 5 years on and off now. So.
Well, thank you. We were here with the Workers' Center to protest Walmart's low wages and stuff about a year ago.
They're excellent.
And yeah.
I remember that.
And it was funny. We went in to deliver a letter, and we were just about to deliver it to the manager. We were just about to leave, and as we were leaving, he said, "I'm going to have to ask you people to leave." But we're already. So when he said that, we all kind of turned around in unison and walked through the store and said, "Workers' rights are human rights. Workers' rights." So if he would have just played it cool, he wouldn't have got that extra bad publicity.
Yeah, a couple of minutes extra credit, huh?
Well, thank you for talking with me.
Anytime.
And
Appreciate it. Good luck.
power to the people.
Thanks.
You said you were with the Workers' Center?
I am, yes.
My name's Anthony Brown.
Bye.
And I'm a member of the IBEW. I'm a membership activist, and I'm hoping to get an article published in the Journal or the Voice in regards to the local labor agreement. And I was wondering if you had any information or any input on your feelings towards the local labor agreement with the IDA, the Industrial Development Agency, right now.
I don't really know anything about it. I just kind of help a little bit with the volunteer at the Workers Center and do sometimes with the protests. But this is for my television show where I'm supporting, like I was just actually filming an artist friend doing a mural. But I don't know. I know Pete Myers is the guy to talk to. He heads up the Workers Center. Well, and he would know all about it, I'm sure.
If you could spread the word to Pete Myers that the Industrial Development Agency is in charge of tax abatements. And pardon my appearance, I'm not in the best conditions today, but they're currently having a committee set up to address a local labor agreement in regards to out-of-town contractors hiring, or developers hiring out-of-town contractors and employing out-of-town people when their argument is that there's no local labor available, and the local labor that is available is overpriced and unaffordable. And we're trying to say that the only reason that they're overpriced and unaffordable is the cost of living in the area, and that union or non-union, they need to make an effort, more than just an effort, they need to actually employ local labor regardless of what trade it is until there's no local labor here left to employ, and then go back to the history that we've had for the last 3 decades of employing all the people here and then bring in as many travelers as you want, but make sure the people here are working, make sure people's taxes are being paid, and take care of the people that keep this community a good place to live. And
right on, I think you said it all. So I'll actually show Pete Myers this, and then you can just call the Workers Center and he's the guy, he's actually the head of it, he's the one to talk to.
Yeah, I've been working with Stacy Black, who's a membership coordinator at the local union 241, and I've been working with him for a couple years now, trying to convince people to stand up for their rights, and it's so hard.
Yes, when you have the whole, it's...
People don't know what they're losing.
Right on.
You know.
Well, thank you for talking.
I came here to thank these guys for their hard work.
Yes. Thank you
for 2 for 1 here today.
Yeah, I got 2. 3 for 1. I was doing my friend's mural, and then, okay, cool. Now I got this, and I'll have 3 different pieces for my show.
All right, I gotta run. Good luck.
All right, good to see you. Thank you. Yes, everything you want to see for the Mr. Clean Show. We've covered everything from free-range organic chicons to playing flute to living with life and experience and enjoy everything you want to see.
And how you speak about your ex-husband.
That I'm grateful for adultery.
Really?
Yeah, a woman came and took my husband from me. Yes, I got married at 18, okay? A man wanted me to marry him. I wanted to go to college, and with brain damage, I wasn't thinking accurately or whatever, and I thought I would never, no one else would ever ask me to get married, and I wanted children. So I gave up college and got married. Well, it was a mistake. And I'm so grateful to the woman who came and took him from me.